Hello there everyone, it's your boy B3 with my video about the Jurassic World uh, exhibition. Yeah, I didn't expect to make a video about this, which is why there is not a lot of great video footage. I didn't think they were going to allow us to film in there, but they did, so you get to see things like this Brachiosaurus. Like when you go in, you sit on this you sit in this boat and they simulate a boat taking you to Jurassic World. It's all immersive and in character, which I didn't super expect. I didn't know it was going to be so immersive. I really didn't. But I did go, and it was pretty good because I went in the middle of the day on like a Thursday after school started, so nobody was there. Once again, sorry about all like the vertical shots and stuff. Didn't know I was going to be allowed to film, so I didn't take my camera. And making a video about it is kind of an afterthought at first. But here I am next to the Brachiosaurus animatronic. What a magnificent animatronic. You come off the boat and you immediately see this big boy, and the movements are so fluid, and it's just a sight. I went with someone else, and his mind was also blown in a way. When we left, we just couldn't stop talking about the animatronics, and like they had these little twitches in the skin and their eyes moved, and they were just truly magnificent. And they also had just these kind of factoid things up and around, around the not just the Brachiosaurus but all the other things. And these right here, these viewers, you were supposed to look in them and they would show you the dinosaurs you would see. And we just expected each one to be a still image of a different dinosaur, but they were all the same. And they showed us fancier things. It was digital. It was like a VR thing in them. And then we go to the Stigmablich. Now this is better known as Pachycephalosaurus, but Twitter got mad at them when they shortened that. So now they call it the Stigmablich, which I have trouble pronouncing. But this was a cool animatronic. It was supposed to be like a juvenile, and it was in this here crate, like it was being transported. And it was a rowdy little fella, very loud, lots of screaming. And I will upload the raw video footage that I have to the second channel. I'm going to put it over there, and there it'll kind of live, so you can just hear the sounds of the exhibition. But he would duck down out and then come back up. And each one had like their zookeeper or whatever who would give you facts about the dinosaurs, like real world facts about them, which I thought was cool. But this guy was a super fluid animatronic, just so cool. I mean, look at him go. Seriously, look at him go. He's just a cute little guy, and I really like him. And then there was, a geological time scale here. They just had so much cool stuff, like Pangea. And then this was the Hammond Creation Lab, and this is kind of the place where they make the dinosaurs, quote unquote, at least in universe. So, and it just had this beautiful, gorgeous look to it. You were just drawn to the thing. Look at that, the beautiful blue. Really love it. But you go in there, and there's actually a ton of different things inside. Dinosaurs at all the steps of the creation process, like these little fellas right here. Take a look at these Parasaurolophus babies that are in this kind of heat chamber here, and they're kind of moving around. Like, they don't look like animatronics at first, but then you notice that they're breathing, and then their heads start to move around. They were so cute, too. They reminded me of that cute little dinosaur from Dinotopia. You remember the little Triceratops that was super cute? At least I remember it as being super cute. Whatever, but they had these three babies, and I was obsessed with them. But they also had all these screens where you could learn facts about many of the different dinosaurs in there, and pterosaurs and stuff, reptilios. And then also these walls of amber and these DNA screens. But the walls of amber I really liked because it showed all the different dinosaurs and where they were from. It's kind of a shot of the lab as a whole. And it was just a really unique experience. The eggs had QR codes that you could scan, but they didn't work. So you had to use the pads. The pads would show you what the QR codes would have anyway. And it just shows you all the different embryos inside of here. which was really neat. And they had these things you could stick your hand in there and feel the different poops. They had herbivore poop, and then they had omnivore poop and carnivore poop, and you could feel the differences in all of them, which I thought was very interesting because I'm kind of a coprolite fan. If you don't know what coprolite is, it's fossilized dung, and I thought it was cool just to see the dung pre-coprolite, just actual dinosaur dung, and it was squishy and weird. Like, look how squishy and weird it is. Once again, sorry for the verticals. Didn't know I was going to be allowed to film, and it was kind of just, I didn't even know I was going to make a video when I was filming. But there's the whole thing as a whole of itself. Big, gorgeous. And then we come to the raptors, and it's the 4 raptors from the first Jurassic World movie. And they're all in their kind of pins here. I actually have a pin like this at home for cows. I live on a cattle ranch. We have the blue doors there that close on the neck so we can, give them vaccines and stuff. But it's all the different ones, and they all had different personalities too, which was very cool. Like, one of them was really aggressive, one was chill, and one was kind of between the two, and their lips moved when they snarled, and their eyes moved, and they were so cool. But Blue was not in hers. And the reason Blue was not in hers is because there is a live show with Blue. And Blue, instead of being an animatronic, is actually a person in a suit. You can see she's absent from her station here. But they did have some factoids on velociraptors, even though these are far too large to be velociraptors or anything. But it was still a very cool room. And all through the exhibition, up till this point, my friend and I were the only ones in here. Absolutely, we were the only ones. But then, when you get to the live show, they're not going to do it for 2 people, which I kind of get. So you have to wait for the people behind you that came in later to kind of catch up. So here is where the live show was, behind this fake electric fence. It's obviously not actually electric, because the kids are going to run up and grab it first thing when they go in there. But the thing is, it's kind of a little difficult to view the show even when you don't have a camera because the bars are so thick and stuff, but it is part of the immersion, and you can get close because, once again, they aren't actually electric. But this is when people start to, get in a crowd, and then everyone watches this together. And it is cool to watch it together. I think if we watched it just the 2 of us, it wouldn't have been as fun as watching it with a group, I don't know. Now, the dialogue for the show is obviously pre-recorded, and, Blue is a big person in a suit, so she's even larger than in the film. And I actually thought it was a very fun show. It really felt like she might actually snap him, because when that costume's jaws actually do snap together, you hear a loud snapping sound that is definitely from the suit. 100%, it's you actually, hear those jaws smack together. And it is a cool suit. I've seen these suits and stuff on YouTube and whatnot before, and I do like him, even though, like, the real life velociraptor is like the size of a turkey, and honestly not very intimidating looking creature. But that is very cool. Look at those movements. The actor in there is doing a great job. Just a magnificent job. And they can't, see or hear shit. you they can't. But they did a magnificent job regardless. So look at that. Very fun. And I kind of expected something to, go wrong. Just story-wise in the show. Not, as a performance, but, within the performance, something that was scripted to go wrong. And then, someone from up top in the rafters would have to do something. But nothing did. He just sends Blue back in like this. Let's see, there he goes. Ta-da! And, that's that. Oh well. And it's really fun because you're it's supposed to be like you're really visiting, so nothing's supposed to go terribly wrong, at least yet. And then we continue to move on, and they have these screens and stuff. But another reason they let you catch up is because the next room is a kid's room. You see, you got a Bumpy. Remember Bumpy from Camp Cretaceous? There's a Bumpy puppet that the kids can hang out with. Because that next room was like all kids' room. I didn't take a bunch of pictures. It was just activities for kids, like the digging for fossils that you have at museums. But then we move on into a different room. And once again, I didn't want to show the room with all the kids stuff because I didn't want to like take a bunch of pictures of other people's kids, you know? But we then move on to something really cool. So here, where this big slab of meat is actually the Indominus Rex. It's feeding time for the big predator, and you all get together and watch it. And it's kind of a good thing that they have the kids' room before this, because they get the kids all calm and happy. And before the kids' room, they have them all catch up, because if my friend and I went into the kids' room together, it would have been awkward because we didn't have kids. And we would have just had to go straight through the room. No bumpy encounter. Because there were supposed to be like 3 other puppet encounters, but since there weren't any kids with us, they didn't bring out the puppets. So we didn't get to see 3 of the puppets. I don't have footage or pictures of them. But I saw them in the program, because I did buy the program. But this Indominus room kind of freaked a lot of the kids out, so I'm glad they let the kids catch up to us, because I got to see them just flip. And sorry that my finger gets in the shot sometimes. I'm not actually watching the Indominus show through my phone. I have my phone up beside me filming it while I'm watching it in person, because I want the real experience. And once again, I didn't expect to actually make a video about this. But look at that animatronic. Look how smooth it moves. Look at the big old monster just bobbing its head. You only get to see the neck and head, though, and you feel so high up that I didn't think it was a super threatening show. And once again, you know, I'm an adult that really knows what's going on, but the atmosphere they made for it is supposed to be really freaky, but it doesn't feel that freaky. I think if it was looking down on us more, it would have been, but with us right at its level like this kind of, I think that took a lot of the spookiness out for me. But it is still a magnificent animatronic. Does it not move like it's real? God, I haven't seen dinosaur animatronics in years. Not since I did that Safari Sim in that dinosaur park where they moved just a tiny, tiny bit. And like, where was that? Stone Mountain? God, I haven't been any of those places in forever. But look at him just roaring and screaming. Once again, I'll post the footage with the audio on like the B3 Productions channel. But then it just goes to eat its big old slab of meat. And then you can, you know, take pictures in the gyrosphere. I am only showing you half because the friend that I was with didn't didn't want to be in the video, which is completely 100% fine. But this whole room is basically a photo op room. You can take pictures in the gyrosphere, and then the kids can look at this pteranodon puppet. My least favorite are the 2 puppets we saw, and then I looked at the pictures of the other puppets, and I do think this is the weakest one. But it's still a very cool puppet. I liked how it moved and everything. It was really neat. The kids loved it. That's who it was for, was the kids, you know? So it's a good thing that they do let the kids catch up to you, because then you don't get to see the puppets if not. But, you know, after that room, there's kind of an asset out of containment. And as soon as I said, in the next room, they'll probably have T-Rex bust out or something, immediately when I said that, the alarms went off. You see the alarms going off? And then this big girl walks out. Look at that. It just knocks the light post down over you. Look at that animatronic. This was threatening. Kids were freaking out. Even adults were like, Jesus. And like the 2 ladies that are acting as like the tour guides, they're kind of doing this slightly comedic act of trying to get us all away from the T-Rex. Like the door is locked, they can't get through it. And it's like a bit, I think, to balance out how scary it is. Because even though the movies are PG-13, they know that their main audience is children. They know it's mostly kids watching. So they tried to, I guess, tone it down. But look at her. Look how big that is. Is that not far more intimidating than the Indominus? Just the big body right over you. And then she's moving forward, and then she moves into the area you have to go into to leave. And she's just screaming, and the children are screaming, and some of the adults are like a little freaked out. It's what a magnificent experience. Once again, sorry for the shaky cam. I'm watching it through my eyes, not through the viewfinder or anything, because I'm using my phone, and I wanted to really experience it. But I mean, you go around the corner, and it's like, see the direction she's heading. Like, she's moving closer to where you need to be. So Abbott and Costello there finally get the door open. You come through, and then the Rex notices you. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm headed that way. She comes straight for you. Look how fluid her movements are. Like, her hind legs aren't moving the best when she does. They don't look like they're coming up very high. But, like, who the hell's even looking at him? Look at that ferocious maw. But she kind of, backs away as they get the door open. But look how she just disappears. It's so well lit. Everything's great about it. And then, of course, they kick you out into the gift shop. The thing about the gift shop is, it sucks. It's a really bad gift shop. There's only a few items in it. I expected, like, Hammond collection figures and stuff, and I heard there was exclusive merch, and there was, and I wanted a bunch. But then you get there, and they have lapel pins, like just regular gift shoppy stuff like cups, stuffed animals, Legos, and then like postcards, and that's it. There's only like really 5 things altogether if you really look at it. 5 types of items. And it's just all the different displays throughout the gift shop each have the same exact items on it. I was hoping to leave with a Hammond collection figure, but they didn't even have those. The only things they had toy-wise were stuffies, little stuffed animals, and Legos, and that was it. And I don't really collect either of those. It's hard to believe they didn't have, like, even just the regular kids' Jurassic World toys in there. That was shocking to me. And we wanted to get, like, the enamel lapel pins. Those mofos were $20 a piece. Absolutely not. No way in hell. I would have paid $5, but instead all I got was the program. And the program, showed me the puppets that we missed. And I mainly got it because, one, I wanted something labeled from the exhibition. I wanted something that was exclusive merch. But also, I wanted, admittedly, the behind-the-scenes stuff. It had behind-the-scenes stuff in there, like how they made the animatronics and whatnot, and that was what really interested me. Maybe I'll even give the book its own video. I don't know. We'll have to see, really. Then we had these photo kiosks, which were really effing expensive, and they didn't work. Like, they wouldn't take my card. And it's because my bank thought it was fraud, and that caused like a whole big issue for the rest of the day because the bank said they turned my card back on but didn't, so my friend had to get everything for me. Thank you. I paid him back. It's fine. But the pictures were really expensive. They added up because we got, it was $15 a pic, which doesn't sound bad because they take your picture in front of a green screen at the beginning, and you can kind of choose different backgrounds. So we got one kind of candid shot of us in front of a bunch of herbivores, and then one shot of us like scared of a carnivore. We got a printed version of each, and then we got 2 digitals, which were $10. $15 for the printed. I was totally fine with that. $10 for a digital photo is a lot. I'm sorry, that's a ton. But I thought the $15 for the physical was pretty fair because they put it in this like, case for you and stuff. That was fun. That was cool. I liked that. Oh well. But everyone that worked there was really nice and stuff, and everyone was in character except the gift shop people because you're done by that time. So they didn't really seem to be in character. And then there was one person like in the middle ish, and everyone was in character except him. He was just like, so you guys from here in Atlanta? And it's like, that's not in character because you're supposed to be on an island, not here in Atlanta. I did see the Atlanta one. And we were like, sort of. Like, we both aren't born and raised here, but, you know, it's where we live our lives. He was like, cool. I don't want to say who he was or where exactly he was because I don't want to get this person in trouble or fired or anything because they were really good to us. And everyone who worked there was magnificent. Honestly, everyone was really nice and helpful and did a great job. So I hope no one gets in trouble for that. I don't think they could figure out who it was anyway. Oh well. But yeah, you know, all of that was really cool. So my final thoughts on the Jurassic World exhibition is that it was really fantastic. Like, I actually really loved it. It was immersive. The animatronics were beautiful. It was educational. I actually learned a dino factoid I didn't know, and I work with fossils for a living. The thing is, I don't really, most of the fossils I work with aren't dinosaurs, so most of the fossils I work with are pre-dino. But still, very cool. I learned some stuff about the Pachycephalosaurus I didn't know, specifically. And the only real complaint I had is the gift shop. Because, like, the tickets themselves were under $30 a person for adults. Very affordable. Like, I go to museums with still dinosaurs or just dinosaur bones because I'm a big museum guy. I go to every museum I can. And those will cost that much to get in. And this with the full animatronics, under $30? Oh, hell yeah. Definitely worth the price. Keep in mind, might be scary for small children, but worth the price, I think. The gift shop sucked. It wasn't great. It was really expensive. I expected it to be pricey because it's a tourist attraction gift shop, of course, but $20 for the pins, dear Lord. And there's a part of me that thinks maybe they had more merch once upon a time, because I know I just mentioned that they didn't have that much merch, but maybe they had more at one point, because I saw the Atlanta one, and it was so popular in Atlanta that they extended its stay twice at the time of recording this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they extended it again, because it was very clear that they were taking children out of school to see this. Many of the kids that followed us around were definitely school age and should have been in school. We intentionally went on a school day so there would be less of them. But the kids actually did enhance the experience. Especially the ones that were terrified of the Indominus and the Rex. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, that is. But yeah, that's Jurassic World, the exhibition. We thought it was really fun and we really enjoyed it. It'll be great for adults and older kids. Once again, it might actually really scare younger kids towards the end. The second half might be scary for them, but the first half, I think they'll love. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Do you want me to do more kinds of videos like this? Because if I knew I could film, this might have been a Safari Sam. But since I was under the impression I wasn't going to be allowed to film in this, because we had the Stranger Things one in town before, and I heard people were not allowed to film in it. So I thought it would be the same for this. And it probably would have been a Safari Sam if not. But I'm glad I did it this way. I think this would have been better than a Safari Sam anyway, because as Safari Sam as a character, I wouldn't have been able to do anything in there. It wasn't what I expected it to be in its entirety, but I did love it. So if you want more videos like this, let me know, and I can do better pictures and video next time that are all in the same format and not the vertical stuff. Everything will be quote-unquote landscape. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support, and I'll see you all, you guessed it, next time. Bye for now.